Imagine the raw, untamed power of nature unleashed in a single, blinding flash. Lightning. It can split a giant oak tree in half, instantly boil the sap inside, and even melt sand into glass, creating what are called fulgurites. A bolt of lightning carries up to 1 billion volts of electricity and heats the air to temperatures 5 times hotter than the surface of the sun. It's a force of almost unimaginable power, a spectacle of both terrifying beauty and lethal potential. For most, it's a distant threat, a dramatic backdrop to a storm. But for one man, this celestial fury struck not once, but twice. This is the story of surviving the impossible. It was a perfectly ordinary afternoon, the kind you forget as soon as it's over. The sky was a placid blue, with just a few harmless-looking clouds drifting by. Our survivor, let's call him Alex, was out enjoying a day of fishing at his favorite lake. There was no rumble of thunder, no dark, ominous clouds on the horizon, nothing to signal the life-altering event that was about to occur. Suddenly, a flash, brighter than anything he had ever seen, engulfed his entire world. The fishing rod in his hand, made of graphite, became a superconductor. The electricity surged through him, a white-hot agony that ripped through every nerve. He was thrown violently into the air before collapsing. His heart stopped, his body smoking. It was a direct hit. By all accounts, he should have been gone. But against all odds, a nearby hiker, trained in CPR, rushed to his side. It was a miracle, a flicker of life, coaxed back from the brink by sheer chance and quick thinking. The hospital became his new world. Surviving the strike was just the first battle in a long, arduous war. The lightning had wreaked havoc on his body. His short-term memory was completely shattered. He couldn't remember what he had for breakfast or the names of the nurses who cared for him daily. The electrical current had essentially fried some of his neural pathways. Simple tasks became monumental challenges. He had to relearn how to walk, his muscles refusing to obey commands from his brain. The pain was constant, a deep burning sensation that felt like he was still being electrocuted. Days blurred into weeks, weeks into months. Every small victory tying his own shoelaces, holding a fork steady, remembering a loved one's birthday, was a testament to his incredible will to reclaim his life from the chaos the lightning had left behind. He was piecing himself back together, fragment by painful fragment. Years passed. Life, remarkably, had returned to a semblance of normal. Alex had recovered much of his physical strength and had developed coping mechanisms for his memory gaps. He was cautious, of course, forever wary of the sky. He became an amateur meteorologist, tracking weather patterns with an almost obsessive focus. But you can't live your life in a bunker. One evening, 7 years after the first strike, he was driving home from work. This time, the storm was undeniable. The sky was a bruised purple, rain lashing against his windshield. He saw a flash in the distance and instinctively tensed up. He was just a few miles from home, almost safe. Then it happened again, a blinding, deafening explosion. The lightning struck a telephone pole beside the road, arced, and hit his car. The vehicle's metal frame acted as a Faraday cage, directing most of the current around him. But the sheer concussive force and the residual charge that blasted through the car's electronics were enough to knock him unconscious. He woke up disoriented, the car dead, smelling of ozone and burnt plastic. The impossible had happened. Again. So, how can a person survive one lightning strike, let alone two? The science is a complex interplay of physics, biology, and sheer dumb luck. When lightning strikes a person directly, as it did with Alex the first time, survival is incredibly rare. The massive electrical current can cause immediate cardiac arrest. However, if medical intervention like CPR is administered instantly, the heart can sometimes be restarted. Survival often depends on the path the electricity takes through the body. If it travels over the surface of the skin, a phenomenon known as a flashover internal, organs may be spared the worst of the damage. His second encounter was a side flash, where lightning hits a nearby object and a portion of the current jumps to the victim. Being inside the car saved him. The metal shell channeled the electricity around the cabin and into the ground. But even a near miss delivers a powerful shockwave and electromagnetic pulse. Alex's survival wasn't just resilience. It was a statistical anomaly, a 1 in a billion chance, twice over. Life after 2 lightning strikes is different. Alex suffers from chronic pain, debilitating migraines, and a peculiar sensitivity to electronic devices. He says he can feel an approaching storm in his bones, a tingle that runs up his spine. Friends and family joke that he's a human weather vane. But the psychological scars run just as deep. He struggles with anxiety and a profound sense of vulnerability. Yet, this extraordinary trauma has also forged an extraordinary purpose. Alex has transformed from a victim into a passionate advocate for lightning safety. He travels to schools and community centers, sharing his incredible story not for fame, but to educate. He speaks about the dangers of being outdoors during a storm, the importance of seeking shelter, and the life-saving power of knowing CPR. He is a living, breathing warning, a man who has looked into the heart of the storm and lived to tell the tale, hoping his story will prevent others from suffering the same fate. In the end, Alex's journey is a powerful reminder of both the terrifying indifference of nature and the incredible strength of the human spirit. It shows us that life can be changed in an instant, in a single blinding flash. We are fragile beings on this planet, subject to forces far beyond our control. But it also reveals our capacity to endure, to rebuild, and to find new meaning in the face of unimaginable adversity. His story isn't just about surviving lightning. It's about what we do after the storm has passed. It's about picking up the pieces, facing the sky, and choosing to live. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this story as incredible as we did, please hit that like button and subscribe for more tales of survival and the human spirit. Stay safe out there.